Shot Callers is designed as an adult drinking game but may be viewed without consumption of alcohol. Consumption of alcoholic beverages impairs your ability to operate machinery and may cause health problems. We do not recommend misuse of alcohol, including excessive consumption, binge drinking, drinking and driving, and or underage drinking. It is the viewer's responsibility to monitor and moderate their alcohol consumption. Shot Callers cannot assume any responsibility for the effect that our content may have on people. If this stream lasts for longer than 4 hours, contact your doctor immediately. Batteries not included.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to Shot Callers. We're here to bring you yet another action-packed evening of Major League Tag Pro action. This evening we're going to be opening up the MLTP playoffs watching Red Hot Chili Poppers take on Ghost Boosters in what promises to be quite the thriller. I'm Ron Sponson and I'm joined tonight by Liquid and Pithy, and together we bring you guys Shot Callers, Tag Pro's favorite drinking game.
And welcome to the playoffs, guys. As per usual, if you're not familiar with the Shot Callers formula, it goes as so. Every cap on stream will be drinking, and we invite you guys to take a drink as well. If we see a successful dubstep, then that's 2 drinks. And for the elusive showboat, take a shot of whatever alcohol or straight liquor that you got nearby. I know for me, I've got some Glen Moray peated single malt locked and loaded. I don't know about you, Ron, but I'm bracing myself for a couple good boats tonight.
I'm also covered on the peat spectrum here, coming in with the Lagavulin 16.
Oh, delicious.
But yeah, you know what else is going to be delicious? Tonight's matchup. If we look at the teams, we've got the top team of the North coming in, facing off against the top team of the Northeast. And cap differential is pretty close between these two teams, both coming in with high double digits here, 39 and 40 respectively. But if we look, we've seen these teams play each other in the past, and Red Hot Chili Poppers has the advantage there, coming in with 2 head-to-head wins.
They do indeed, and these guys have quite the star-studded rosters too.
Yes, they do. So if we look at the rosters here, we're going to start off with Ghost Boosters. We've got Protag coming in with some dynamite stats, 10 OGASP, and his partner Aaron is no slouch either. 37 caps that Aaron's coming in with. And on the defensive side of things, Sharantino, just monster numbers here, 634 tags. And Cynical is coming in with the 10 DGASP.
Now, it's an interesting situation with this Ghost Boosters team, because just looking at the stats, they look like they might have the most stacked team in the league. They've got both the 10 DGASP and the 10 OGASP on their team right now. But there's more to this team than meets the eye. You guys are probably aware of the fact that Cynical was a late season addition to the Ghost Boosters, acquired via trade. And he's notoriously good for gaming the GASP formula. I believe he owns the 10 DGASP for the past 5 straight seasons or something like that. And that's not to say he's a bad defender. He is for sure an elite defender. And this season, he and Sharantino, in the limited amount of time we've seen together, they've been one of, if not the hardest defensive partnership to get through. Their prevent numbers are off the charts, and Cynical is basically the king of prevent in modern MLTP. And he and Sharantino are going to try to show that once again tonight. They had a bit of a harder time last time they faced off against the Red Hot Chili Poppers, but if they're able to put in some good prevent, that opens up the window for their offensively powerhouse attack of Protag and Aaron. Aaron is, interestingly enough, the only rookie on the Ghost Boosters roster right now playing in majors, and he's partnering Protag, who's more of a veteran in that he's been around the block, and this season he achieved a feat only one other player has ever achieved before. That is the feat of capping more than 10 times a week on average. He's got 93 caps in only 9 weeks of play. Only LeBron James has been able to proclaim having done the exact same thing, and in fact, the player who's closest to them, who capped 69 times in 7 weeks, I suppose, and I believe that was back in season 11, is Toasty. And Toasty is going to be playing tonight as well, albeit on the defensive side of things.
He's going to make sure that the Ghost Boosters are going to have to fight tonight. Toasty is just a monster influence here on the defensive side of things. 662 tags coming in with 16 caps as well. Dangerous on both sides of the field. He's got a partner, Masaki, who is not a slouch with 8.26 DGASP. And on the offensive side of things, the star of the show here, Ball Don't Lie, 9.72 OGASP, 71 caps. And his partner tonight is going to be Guts, who has gotten 18 caps over only 170 minutes.
Now, this is an interesting team, the Red Hot Chili Poppers. I've been very curious about how they've evolved over the season. Right now, in their current state, they're very much a 2 superstar team with 2 really good support players. You've got Ball Don't Lie and Toasty, who are unquestionably some of, if not the best players at their positions. Ball Don't Lie was the 100 tag coin man. Toasty was the preliminary pick, and he probably would have gone for the same amount. These two guys have been dominating both on offense and defense respectively all season long, and BDL was acquired, he too, via a late season trade. One of the most blockbuster trades MLTP has seen is in recent memory. Red Hot Chili Poppers traded away, as you probably remember, their entire offensive line in exchange for Ball Don't Lie. So that just shows how much Tantru values BDL's big game skills. And right now, as you mentioned, we've got Guts partnering alongside BDL, playing more of a support role. And in fact, Guts is typically more of a defensive player. So to have him playing offense alongside BDL is an interesting tactical decision by Tantru. And in the limited amount of time he's had, he's been really impressive. We saw him, and we actually streamed Ball Don't Lie and Guts playing against Chiratino and Cynical, and I believe they capped 19 times that week over Pilot and Emerald games. And that's a testament to how good Guts has been at partnering Ball Don't Lie and supporting Ball Don't Lie, but also how good Ball Don't Lie is at carrying offense. He capped 13 of those 19 caps all by himself that week, Ball Don't Lie, and he's been doing this all season long. He did it for the London Wasps, he did it for the Symbolian Pirates, and now he's doing it on his third team, the Red Hot Chili Poppers, and he's actually got a monster defense to help him rack in the caps with Toasty and Misaki. Misaki, another rookie in MLTP right now, and Toasty, a rookie on defense, so to speak. They've been lights out, and so that's what's interesting about these teams, is that you've got two really good rosters, and it's really hard to predict which way things are going to go. We talked about the rosters, but there's more to these teams than meets the eye.
All right, and certainly I think we're going to start the map pick bans here. So we're just 5 minutes away from the stream, from the start of the game. So right now we are just waiting to hear the decisions here. Which team will be going first on the pick bans?
That still remains to be seen right now, but as per the order, I believe the first team... do you actually know who gets to pick the first map? Because I believe it starts off with the first team banning a map, second team, or Team A bans, Team B bans, then Team A picks, then Team B picks, then Team A bans, and then Team B bans, and it ends with a Team B picking the last map.
And it sounds like... Okay, I'm gonna clarify. We just got some rules in here. Team A will pick one of the regular 9-season maps, and then followed by Team B banning one of the remaining maps. Team B will then pick a map following that, which is going to be Game 1. Team A will pick one of the remaining 6 maps, being Game 2. A then gets to ban, B bans, and A finally picks the last one for overtime. And Team A in this case is going to be Red Hot Chili Poppers.
Yes, and so if you look at their record this season, the Red Hot Chili Poppers, they've been really strong all season long, but there are some maps that seem to favor, or that they seem to have better results on. Now, for obvious reasons, this will be skewed based on who they played each week, but currently, as it stands, the maps that Red Hot Chili Poppers might want to ban are the maps on which they didn't sweep. Now, interestingly enough, they have never been swept. This season, Red Hot has only ever swept or split, and in fact, I guess you could count the 5/6 sweep as a split, in that they lost one game in regulation and one in overtime against Tears. That would not be a full sweep. But that being said, the maps that I could see them banning are those on which they didn't have a perfect record, and that would be Rush, Cedar, Giphy, or Scorpio. So has the news come in as to which one they've chosen to ban?
The news has just come in. It looks like Red Hot Chili Poppers with the first ban will be banning Scorpio as predicted.
Unsurprising news there. Now, if you look at the Ghost Boosters, their choices are more interesting. They've only swept on 2 maps this season. That's Transilio and Rush. So they might want to sweep on, they might want to ban a map on which Red Hot Chili Popper had a lot of success. And those maps would be Cash and Emerald. Red Hot Chili Poppers had a plus 13 cap differential on Cash and plus 12 cap differential on Emerald. And in fact, Red Hot beat the Ghost Boosters on Emerald. So I could see them banning Emerald in this case.
A couple more picks coming in here. Red Hot Chili Poppers is going to ban the Holy See. Wait, how does that work?
I believe that's a joke ban.
Another joke ban here. Ghost Boosters is going to ban Toasty.
But it seems like their official ban has been to ban my beloved Pilot. So that's the other map on which they lost to the Red Hot Chili Poppers back in Week 8. Another interesting choice, considering they actually have, the Ghost Boosters have a plus 5 cap differential on Pilot this season. as opposed to only +4 for the Red Hot Chili Poppers. But I guess history has shown that Pilot might not be the best choice going up against Red Hot Chili Poppers if your name is Protag, so he opted to go for the ban here. So we'll be looking at our first pick of the evening now.
Yeah, it looks like the Ghost Boosters, I believe, will get to pick the first map, which is going to be Game 1.
Now, Ron, do you have any hypotheses as to which map you think the teams might want to be playing here?
Ghost Boosters, potentially Transilio, or I want to say either that or Rush. Both of those are maps that the Ghost Boosters has swept their opponents in this season.
Yeah, not only have they swept, but they have a +11 cap differential on both Transilio and Rush, as opposed to Red Hot Chili Poppers, who have +8 on Transilio and +3 on Rush. And in fact, Red Hot did not sweep on Rush, so I could see Ghost Boosters opting to pick Rush, since they have a perfect record on Rush, they have a monster cap differential on Rush, and Red Hot Chili Popper have neither of those things. But again, I'm not the captain, and there's a very good reason for me not being the captain of one of the top franchises in MLTP right now. So you never know what Protag might opt for here.
Go fuck yourself.
I highly doubt that's their map pick, but you never know.
Protag is saying yes. That Ghost Boosters indeed is selecting Go Fuck Yourself.
Interesting. I wonder what they see.
Shocking.
I think maybe one advantage to picking Jiffy is it levels the playing field in that it's a new map. Neither team has much experience on this map, and it kind of makes sure that the win goes to whichever team is most tactically flexible and able to think on their feet. Now, I believe we streamed the game back when Ghost Boosters faced off against a Blockwork Orange on Go Fuck Yourself, and they got defeated in their game on Jiffy. So I guess they must be confident that they've improved enough on Jiffy that they're able to challenge one of the top 3 teams in MLTP on that map.
Now, we did have another pick. Emerald is going to be chosen by Red Hot Chili Poppers for Game 2. We have 2 more bans coming up, 1 from each team, and then we'll be choosing the overtime map after that.
Unsurprising there. Emerald, as we mentioned, one of the maps on which Red Hot Chili Poppers were able to beat the Ghost Boosters back in Week 8, and Emerald is also one of the top maps for the Red Hot Chili Poppers. They've won both their games on it, and they have a combined +12 cap differential, as opposed to Ghost Boosters -2 cap differential on that map. So that's a pretty smart pick by Tantrum's gang.
And I think Red Hot Chili Poppers will be next to ban, and it looks like they do ban Rush.
As you mentioned earlier, Ghost Boosters, Rush was one of their likely picks, so probably a smart decision to get rid of that before they get the chance to. So that seems like it's the Ghost Boosters' turn to get a ban in. Is that correct?
Yeah, Ghost Boosters gets one final ban, and then it will be Red Hot Chili Poppers that picks the overtime game.
Only fair.
So let's see, if we're Ghost Boosters, which map would we want to ban next?
That's a good question.
Maybe Cache?
Probably Cache, yeah. Ghost Boosters have negative cap differentials on only 2 maps. That's Cache and Emerald. And those happen to be the 2 maps on which Red Hot Chili Poppers have the highest cap differential, +13 and +12. So if they can get rid of Cache, that's probably something they'll want to do.
Still waiting on that ban here. Let's see, how many maps are left? There's only a couple maps left.
I think 3 maps, is that correct?
3 maps, yep. 2 bans and 1 pick. 4 maps total that are left. And so if they don't ban Cache, does anything else really make sense to them?
So the other options would be Transilio, Jardim, Cedar, and Cache. Those are the 4 remaining maps.
Interesting, they have chosen to ban Cedar.
Whoa. Well, I can definitely see Red Hot picking Cache next.
It would certainly seem to be the logical choice. And I wonder, too, these teams have changed their makeup recently. Maybe there's player preferences that are playing into this, too, and that would be something that would be different than what the the team performance in the past would suggest.
Absolutely. That's a very good point. And as we mentioned earlier, Ghost Boosters boast the addition of Cynical, who has been a prevent-heavy defender all season long. And perhaps he feels like on a map like Cedar, it's harder to get those resets to get back to that prevent-heavy style of play, and that he'd rather try his odds on a different map. But that being said, I feel like Cache is one of the maps where it's really hard to keep the flag in for long periods of time. Though it's possible that they feel more confident on there. And there's no guarantee that Cache is the map that will be picked either.
And indeed, it has not been picked. Red Hot Chili Poppers picking the overtime game of Transilio will be the map.
And that's one of the strongest maps for both teams. Plus 11 cap diff for Ghost Boosters across the season with a 2-0 record. Plus 8 cap diff and a 2-0 record for Red Hot Chili Poppers. So both of these teams have been really good at the MLTP Classic. I believe this is Transilio's 6th season in MLTP map rotation. And if it makes it to overtime, we're going to be in for quite the game, I believe.
Now, what were you most surprised by? I think personally, starting with the pick of Go Fuck Yourself was a pretty interesting play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that they went for that one, but I'm happy that we've got some new, fresh faces in playoff rotation. This is a map, as we mentioned, it was a community map this season. It's the first season that it's ever been played in competitive, and we'll be seeing it finally in a winner takes all type of game, where every single win could be crucial to extending their season past this week. We might be seeing more conservative play on a map like Jiffy, especially considering that players might have less experience practicing on it. It's also possible that the picks that we saw tonight in the past 5 minutes have been based off of which maps the teams have been practicing more this week. So maybe they feel like they practiced Jiffy enough to go ahead and pick it as their map. But time will tell. We'll find out what ends up happening.
Yeah, and we're just about ready to start. And a quick word before we start the game. We have opened up the Jump Cup Halftime Challenge, which is our Tag Pros version of beer pong that you, the viewer, can participate in. I wanted to give a shout out to the Bob 18, who is, due to some technical difficulties, having to run this one manually. So if you guys want to participate, make sure you type !jump in chat. But you have to be a follower of the channel, and trust me, the Bob 18 will be checking that. And I'm sure some bribes would probably help your chances as well.
And so before we get into this, we got the gameplay starting, but we were talking about there will be 3 maps this week. Obviously, the playoff system is a bit different. Do we have any idea of exactly what the format is going into the playoffs?
Let's see. I think that if they'll each play one game, and if they tie after the first game and second game, they will be deciding the result of the game on Jump Cup.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely correct to me. We're talking about bribes, maybe that went into that decision. The shot caller's agenda is in full swing here, and action starts off a bit slowly. We saw a near capping opportunity by, I believe it was Aaron, but some good offensive defense by the Red Hot Chili Poppers kept things at bay, and the score remains 0-0 going into the first round of power-ups. Toasty and Guts securing the double T's, one on offense, one on defense. That is the best possible scenario. And then they line themselves up for failure. Toasty is going to bring the tag pro on offense and going to try to lead Guts. Interesting decision to have both tag pros. Seems like one of them is unable to be used properly right now. And there's no solo. Now it looks like Protag might be in for the cap if Guts doesn't survive. And he is! Protag opens the scoring tonight against the run of play. And the Ghost Boosters take an early lead 1-0.
An excellent start here for Ghost Boosters, turning what seemed like a very dangerous situation into a very profitable cap, coming in off the double T's to get the first cap of the game. Very excellent teamwork and coordination to pull this off. And right now, Aaron, trying to pull a few moves, ends up getting pushed into that corner. And we're seeing these buttons come into play as well. Watch for the next round of power-ups. Players are getting into position.
Now, you got both teams setting up into the corners. This reminds me a bit of Wormy in that everyone swarms to the power-ups. Another tag pro, this time Shertino was able to secure it, and we'll see if he takes it on offense. It seems like he's eager to do just that. He's going to be helping AA run out, and instead he grabs, so that's going to be an interesting decision. Ends up dying, and we've seen twice now defenders with tag pros going on offense. It's a good idea if your offensive partner doesn't have a tag pro, but in the case where Toasty might have gotten a bit overly ambitious, bringing the tag pro on offense when Guts already had one, and instead of being able to protect his flag and base, that grab that he was unable to defend due to having the tag pro on offense ended up being the first cap of the game, so perhaps not the wisest decision from Toasty there, but the game is still very young.
We're seeing some gutsy play to start off. There's a lot of grabs, and they're not very calculated. I think both teams coming out aggressive out of the gates. Aaron as well, but Misaki closing in, getting the return.
And that spawn by Guts preventing Protag from going for the bomb-heavy handoff. And now we're going to be in for the third round of power-ups. It seems like this map has a very weird ebb and flow to it, in that it's grab a couple flags, die a couple times, get a couple returns, and then go back to the corner and try to win that power-up.
Yeah, very rhythmic play to start things out here, and Ball Don't Lie trying to turn things around for his team, gets contained. There's a bomb for Guts. He's going for it, but unfortunately misses the flag and is stuck in base on his own. Toasty defusing the bomb. Go ahead.
He uses the bomb perfectly to get rid of Protag's boost. It was a nice attempt at the boost grab by Protag, but Toasty read him all the way. And it seems like right now both defenses are doing extremely well to shut down the offenses, but just as I say this, Protag misses the boost, and then Ball Don't Lie in for the cap after a brilliant boost defuse by the Red Hot Chili Poppers defense. It allows Ball Don't Lie to walk in without the threat of a snipe and tie the game up at 1. Beautiful play, just as I was talking about how the defenses were doing so well. Ball Don't Lie able to defeat that contain and get the first cap for his team to get on the board.
Guts trying to pull some moves here, but the Ghost Boosters did not bite. And now Red Hot Chili Poppers got 1 cap. They're trying to get 2. Aaron's got the Juke Juice, and he's going to slow things down. Pup advantage here for Ghost Boosters with that Tag Pro and Juke Juice. And Shara and Anti, and the return, and there's the cap. And now Ghost Boosters takes the lead back yet again.
Can Protag get the split in? Not quite. A good play prioritization by Cynical, grabs the Tag Pro instead of trying to get ahead, and then goes in for the solo. I would have liked to see Protag get off regrab to help his team get that return, but either way, they end up getting the cap nonetheless. Cynical, a great solo play, and AA1 breaks some ankles, but Misaki there just in time. Now Protag is past 2. He's going to try going bottom, doubling back. He's got 2 blocks. He's going to have to take a lap, though. Going to go for the hero play, takes the boost, goes around, but it is not a cap in the end. Misaki saving the day, and Ball Don't Lie playing anti-regrab, gets that reset, and we are back to a reset on both ends. Another power-up spawning very soon, and both teams are highly aware of that.
What goes around does not come around this time for Ghost Boosters, although they still have a 1 cap lead, looking to make it 2. Aaron out with the flag. There's the boost. Toasty, and using it with a combination return, pushing Ball Don't Lie into the flag carrier, and Aaron with a really great bomb.
Aaron temporarily switching to defense, and he's doing quite the good job at it. He's going to defuse that boost, and Charatino with the Juke Juice is not going to let that grab happen. Both teams have been very flexible with letting their offense and defense transition through positions without being committed to one position in particular. And that's something I like to see.
And now the bomb is getting diffused here from Toasty. Some flashes again, and this map, it's really conducive to trying to just test the waters a little bit. Guts doing it with the flag coming into base, looking to tie it up around the corner, but Sharantino closing it off with force, getting that return. 4 minutes to go, 1 cap lead so far for Ghost Boosters.
Those are my favorite billiards returns, and then Sharantino uses the corner perfectly. Protag is able to secure the rolling bomb for the handoff. He beats Misaki into the spike. Jukes Toasty, breaks the ankles. Now Aaron's gotta help get this return, surely. Ball Don't Lie is juking around, and he just buys enough time for Guts to come back. Ghost Boosters miss an opportunity to extend their lead to 2. And now with an anti-regrab, it looks like Red Hot Chili Poppers might be poised to get a cap of their own.
Oh, man. Misaki with the backwards boost getting the return. He's got another boost, but Protag using the button. This is dangerous here. Sharantino just had to get past Toasty, couldn't pull it off, and now they've reset the flag back in base, keeping it a 1-score game. Very exciting first half to start off this first round of playoffs on Shot Callers.
And Guts goes in for the gutsy grab. It doesn't really work out, but Ball Don't Lie gets ahead of 1, splits them both. Can he get the double split? Not quite. Now Cynical is something you don't see that often, but I think he's already done it twice this game, getting the grabs in. Maybe because playoff stats don't really count into the scoreboard, so he can finally die without having to worry too much about it. Aaron with a beautiful rub grab gets ahead of Toasty, and if he can get a return in time, it might work out, but Guts with a great play to keep the flag alive and prevent that cap from happening.
Ooh, questionable Flaccid here. This is looking dangerous for Red Hot Chili Poppers. Aaron with the flag. Unfortunately, not able to do much with that Tag Pro. And Aaron's being very patient, doubling backwards, coming around the corner. He's got a boost off the top and back down right into Toasty, who is just sitting there waiting and making him force his hand. Now Guts with the flag, trying to weave above and under Cynical, ends up getting returned. And there's not many moments where the action has slowed down in this game.
It only ever slows down once a minute for these pesky power-ups. But once again, great work by Ball Don't Lie, getting the reset for his team through some savvy what do you call it, anti-regrab, and Protag now swiftly comes in, gets a grab, prevents, and what a block by Sharatino, opens up the lane. Protag's in for his second of the game. The score is now 3-1 in favor of the underdog Ghost Boosters going into the last 2 minutes of the half number 1.
A beautiful backwards boost block there from Sharatino to open up that capping opportunity, and now Ghost Boosters doubles their lead. Guts looking to cut down on it. That boost was looking good. Protag, oh my goodness, the push from the portal pushes Protag ahead, and Balderline with the snipe. Amazing job, and Red Hot Chili Poppers takes the lead back down to 1 with a brilliant sequence of events. It looks like choreographed swimming out here on this map, and there's just 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go, and we have ourselves a one-cap game.
The map has really opened up. The game has added a bit of dynamics now that the players seem to be used to the ebb and flow of Jiffy. They've been taking advantage of these power-ups much better. And a great play in that last cap by Guts not to go in for the kiss to stay alive just by pixels long enough to allow his team to get that clutch return and ring around the Rosie and come in for that cap. Now Toasty gets his second tag throw of the game. He's already sitting on 15 tags. He's going to let Misaki defend all alone. And in the meantime, he's going to try to help Bottomline get out with the flag. He's able to get out. Unfortunate spike for the Ghost Boosters. Aaron is the last man back, and that will be a tying cap for the Red Hot Chili Poppers. The score is now 3-3. This is anyone's game.
And yeah, it's just 25 seconds to go. That Tag Pro opening up the capping opportunity. This is definitely anyone's game, and there's still time on a map as small as this to get another cap. Aaron's going to try to put the team on his back and pull something out of his. No, not going to happen. He's going to get returned into the corner. Protag going to get sniped, and things are looking a little bleak here. Final seconds tick down, and we have a very exciting first half. No refunds will be handed out for the ticket prices coming in this evening. What an amazing first half. 3-3 tie game.
What looked like a really strong start by the Ghost Boosters has been annihilated by a really strong finish by the Red Hot Chili Poppers. And I believe, to me, the play that changed the game was Misaki's solo defense to allow Toasty to take that tag pro on offense and bring lead Ball Don't Lie back into base. Misaki, a lot of people who counted him out this season as being Toasty's backpack or getting carried by Toasty. Clearly not. This guy is able to fend for his own against some of the best offensive players in the league, as evidenced right there, shutting down the Ghost Boosters offense all on his own and allowing Toasty to use that tag pro offensively to get that tying cap in the last 30 seconds of the game. Huge play all around by the Red Hot Chili Poppers, and yet the game is tied. Testament to the Ghost Boosters' skill so far. Any players of the game so far for you, Ron?
Well, one second, you've got to give the Ghost Boosters credit for coming out and taking the early lead, and they were really neck and neck, keeping that pressure ahead. But yeah, Ghost Boosters coming from behind and pushing forward, Red Hot Chili Poppers, and they started just chipping away on that, and the tides really turned towards the last minute. Players that stood out, I loved what I saw from Sharatino with that backwards boost block. That type of play you just don't see except from the very best players.
Yeah, and we've mentioned it before. You guys all know this. Sharatino is European, so he's playing on higher ping than most right now. And he's not letting that show through in his gameplay. He's been lights out. We saw it, as you said, in the backwards boost that allowed Protag to come in with the third cap. We also saw it in his billiards return that prevented a cap on the other side of the field. So clearly these guys are just firing on all cylinders when they need them most. And this should be quite the action-packed second half on Jiffy, which is, I believe it was the Ghost Boosters map pick.
I'm going to quickly mention before this game gets action-packed again that the Jump Cup halftime challenge signups will be closing very soon, so make sure you get your signups in. This is your last chance. Type !jump in chat, and the Bob18 will be, well, maybe he already picked them. Looks like he picked them, so better luck next week. If you guys will want to watch or play next week, it'll be the same spot.
Getting a pixel grab, and Aaron, the double kill in the gate. Now, a return on Guts could be huge for the Ghost Boosters. Sharatino gets a nice snipe, but in the process allows Ball Don't Lie to come in with the grab of his own. Good contain by Cynical and Sharatino, and a beautiful block. Misaki misses the snipe, is a bit too hasty, and Aaron takes the lead right back, just like in the first half. Misaki trying to get Protag off that boost. Protag is gonna boost bottom. Is this another cap? Not quite. Beautiful play by Protag, and now Guts is past 3.
And Ghost Boosters has the power-up advantage here. Aaron with that rolling bomb and the flag, and Shara with the tag pro, and Ball Don't Lie has to stay alive. And another billiards cap here with Aaron and Protag leading the charge using that rolling bomb, and now they have a 2-cap lead and not showing too many signs of slowing down.
Play of the game. Aaron, what a play, what a boost, and what a cap. He saw the positioning and we all saw it. We were just wondering, can he pull it off? This guy's a rookie, and on the biggest scene, he's performing better than I've ever seen him perform right now. This guy is a big game player, and you can tell.
Right now, Red Hot Chili Poppers looking to quell the bleeding, and Guts might be doing just that. He's got a bunch of boosts and a bunch of blocks. That's going to be the cap, and now they've cut it down to another 1-cap deficit here. We still have ourselves a game, and we also have ourselves another round of power-ups as we just wait, but Cynical is not waiting. He's got the flag. Aaron with a very good support block. They've got the blocks in base as well, weaving around the players. He's got protection. He's got the red wall helping him, and can he get the return? Yes, and he sticks the cap in by just a pixel. Cynical extending the lead by 2, and Aaron putting the dagger in with another cap. Ghost Boosters with a 3-cap lead, and we still have 7.5 minutes to go.
How often do you see this? Cynical gets a cap. That's only his 2nd cap of the entire season, and it's quite the cap. They get that cap when they need it most. Prolongs their lead to 2 and allows, I believe it was Aaron, to come in and extend that lead to 3 right after. Ghost Boosters are running on a high, and you do not want to let that momentum go. They got to keep capitalizing. Just plunge that dagger deeper and deeper into those red hot chili popper hearts, because this is a merciless team, and if you give them an inch to come back, they will.
We've got some power-ups coming up on the top side of the map. Aaron fighting desperately, and yes, sneaks it in, but Guts sneaks the flag out, and he's trying to get past Cynical. Shara sitting on that boost, just deadly. Playing against Shara has got to be a very difficult task indeed, and keeping that flag in base and allowing their team to keep scoring the caps.
Now with 6 minutes left, Aaron, who's been playing second fiddle to Protag all season long, sometimes hasn't quite looked up to the task. Right now, he's sitting on 4 caps already in only 14 minutes of play. This guy has been dominant for Ghost Boosters. Now he gets a couple blocks in for Protag, who's going to try to go all the way around. He's got the blocks, He's got the gate. Great play by Cynical, not getting bogged down by the block, just sitting on that button. Sharatino with a monster block, and now it's a 4-cap lead for the Ghost Boosters with 5 minutes left to play.
Yes, again, a bit of choreographed swimming here from the Ghost Boosters team. I think we're seeing a common trend. They had the blocks. Flight Carrier just slowed down and played it out, and Cynical with a great button to take care of the rest of the team. And now Ghost Boosters has put up twice as many caps as Red Hot Chili Poppers and not showing too many signs of stopping. But wait a second, Guts with the flag. Right backwards into Cynical. He had a lot of Ghost Boosters in a very small amount of space.
Now, one thing I have to underline right now is the power-up advantage that Ghost Boosters have this game. I'm not sure if it's been lack of attention or perhaps just being unlucky on the power-ups, but Red Hot Chili Poppers have only secured 1 of the 8 power-ups that have come up so far. And that, I'm sure, plays a huge role in the fact that they're down 5-1 this half, and that they've got a 4-cap mountain to climb going to the last half of half number 2.
And just 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go. And yes, indeed, 4 caps to try to get back, and not going to do it that way. Another round of power-ups coming up soon. These power-ups could be critical, and right now, Red Hot Chili Poppers hoping for a miracle in the top right-hand side of the map. But Protag just going to sneak not only the juke juice, not only the return, but also the flag gets returned as well, though. But Misaki boosting backwards.
What a risky play. Misaki goes for the backwards boost. Aaron is baiting the portal, and Protag swoops in and denies him that opportunity. He's going to try to boost up, and he does, but Misaki's got him locked and loaded. And once again, Misaki not looking too confident on these boosts. A bit more hesitant than he usually is. Perhaps gotten burned a couple times, but you can't be hesitant with 4 minutes left, down 4 caps on this map.
I think Red Hot Chili Poppers might be a bit flustered here. You're seeing the hesitance come out. Ball Don't Lie with the flag. Cynical getting the return. And right now, Guts is doing what he has to do. He's being risky and just trying to get this flag out of base. But right now, Sharatino and Cynical have this flag locked down. I don't know if we've seen it come out of base much at all this entire half.
They're currently sitting on 5 minutes 55 of Prevent. These guys have been monster on Prevent all season long, and they're making it count. Once again, finally, Red Hot Chili Poppers get a tag pro, but unfortunately for them, so does Sharetino, and so that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Toasty goes flag pro. Lack of patience might be what cost them this game, and Sharetino is now past 3, and Guts! What a snipe! Saving the cap. Would have been past 3 had it not been for that pixel perfect snipe. And maybe that is the beginning of a turning point. Maybe Guts is trying to will his team back into the lead here.
A push from the portal, helping out Toasty, pulling back on it. Now he's got the boost block. And now Guts and base, ball don't lie, swooping around, trying to get one cap. But Protag brilliantly closing off that bottom choke and just sitting right in the middle. And there's no way that flag was getting past Protag.
Now Aaron on the double handoff, 2 teammates handing the flag off. Unfortunately for him, he's circled by 3 different Red Hot Chili Poppers players who are denying him any progress out of base. Now we're settling in for another round of power-ups. Toasty finally gets another tag pro, and once again is flag pro, but at least this time around he's past 2. He's going to try to hit the portal. Cynical sees that coming, but now all of a sudden you got Toasty spawning in base with a tag pro. This could be dangerous. Misaki trying to bomb Aaron into his teammate, but Aaron able to counter that momentum just enough to prevent running right into Toasty. And now all of a sudden he's past 4. Toasty has to boost ahead.
Oh no!
Sharetino, unfortunately, unbeknownst to himself, ends up blocking his teammate into a return. Toasty saving the cap when it looked all but finished. A great last gasp play by Toasty there.
And they are just about on their last gasp of 4 cap deficit, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Guts hitting this bomb, trying to defuse it and get rid of any opportunity. They're looking to get this flag out of base. Misaki and Ball Don't Lie are having a lot of trouble against Cynical and Sharetino, who have just been locking down this flag, and right now they're hoping they can secure some power-up advantages that they have. Ball Don't Lie pick up the flag, Cynical alone here, and now Ball Don't Lie's got a boost, and whoa, almost gets portaled, and now Cynical is playing bumper cars here, pushing everyone out of the way, almost opening up a capping opportunity. That just about backfired.
And now you got 4 Ghost Boosters playing in base. If I were them, I would just keep all 4 in base. Don't grab for the rest of the game. I mean, you've got a 4 cap lead. Just stay ahead long enough. But all of a sudden, Misaki gets returned, and Aaron somehow nub-steps Ball Don't Lie, just slips past him on the boost. And for those of you following at home, that's going to be 2 drinks. And the third right here as Protag comes in, and he pokes it. That is a shot, ladies and gentlemen. 3 drinks and a shot for those following at home. And I will be taking a shot of this delicious Glen Murray Scotch. God damn, thank you so much, Protag. I needed this.
I'm going to have to say that was a pretty tasty cap. Just very subtle, showboat. Very subtle showboat. I'm going to give that a good 7 out of 10. We've seen better with the full circle, but this one's not far behind. And we've got the final 45 seconds to go here. Cynical with this Juke Juice going to be able to easily close in on Misaki, getting the return. But Ball Don't Lie ducking over and under with the flag. Aaron getting returned. They're trying to get at least one more cap to help them go into the next game. Not going to be able to pull it off.
Get the turtle in, guys! Sharetino is not listening. He's just come in with a cap. That is why he's an MLTP Ball or ELTP Ball of Famer, and I am a commentator on the late night shit callers. Here we have it, a 7 cap lead for the Ghost Boosters going into game 2, and you see it come back in the cards around 14 seconds, 7 cap.
I don't know. This is going to be very difficult for them. They've got just about as many seconds left as they have caps to go. Protag gonna get returned, and now we're just playing for the just for the record books here. Final seconds ticking off. Ghost Boosters with a very dominant 2 halves, especially going to the second half. They've got quite a bit of momentum. We got some people talking in chat asking who picked this map. This was indeed a choice of Ghost Boosters, proving that this was a very good map choice indeed.
And Toasty with a GG close one in chat. A little self-deprecation never hurt anyone. And 2 noteworthy things from this game for me. The power-ups 13-5 in favor of the Ghost Boosters definitely played a part in giving Ghost Boosters that game 1 win. But more importantly, the prevent was basically 9 minutes each. I believe it was 9 minutes 1 for Ghost Boosters and 8 minutes 56 for the Red Hot Chili Poppers. So the difference between having 7 or 8 caps this half and 1 cap this half wasn't prevent. The difference was getting those short grabs and short caps at the right time. It's not a map like Velocity where you're going to hold the flag for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, get a reset, and then come in for the cap. This is one of those maps where if you get a cap, you got to get 2 or 3 at a time, and we saw this a couple times with Ghost Boosters. But even more so it's a small map. It's very short. It takes maybe 3 seconds to get from one end of the map to the other. So you just got to be really efficient with your movements, get the blocks set, and come right in, because as soon as that base is clogged with offensive defense, you are not going to cap. And Guts has been the only exception to that rule so far, getting a couple nice timely returns in base for the Red Hot Chili Poppers and coming in for a cap in half number 1, I believe. But other than that, it's all these small plays, short caps, and so despite the relatively even prevent numbers, the game itself was out of hand just due to Ghost Boosters' efficiency with that flag.
And we'll see what happens in the next game when they have Red Hot Chili Poppers pick of Emerald. But before we do that, we have the Jump Cup Halftime Challenge. Quick look at the leaderboard. Lamatron at the top of the leaderboard, 347. And I do want to mention the top 4 players at the end of the season will get to play in the special Super Bowl edition. Get seen by hundreds of players. This is your chance, hundreds of viewers. If you'd like to participate. Right now, the number to beat is 243 to get into 4th place. But again, just in case any of these top 4 can't make it during the Super Bowl, 5th place wouldn't be bad either.
We got a couple of familiar faces with Balanka and Lamatron, who are both on the leaderboard right now. But for those of you who don't know, Moba is also a familiar face. He was the co-founder of MLTP Live, and he is a halftime show specialist. He was one of the co-creators of the original Jump Cup Challenge, and he's going to try to test his mettle in our brand new Jump Cup Challenge. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he might be having a bit of a hard time figuring out how exactly this works.
Obama has certainly figured out how it works, getting a full sip of the tall beer bottle or can or glass, whatever you want to call it over there. The pint glass, and showing no signs of slowing down. Obama, the early favorite here, and he's got a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. He's currently at 169 power-ups. In second place, you got Lamatron at 43. So Lamatron has got quite the mountain to climb if he wants to catch up. Obama's now at 178.
Ngoma messing with Obama there. There's a couple players actually that have been just throwing him off his tracks. We got a bit of sabotage here, and Ngoma playing into it. Obama with yet another one. Can he get this rhythm? Watch for Ngoma or Lamatron to try to mess him up, and indeed, yes, they both have tag teaming him, and Obama is he's fighting these other 3 players right now.
This is glorious. Not often do we get to see these personal battles up by the pint. But Obama and Lamatron have been duking it out, and Balanka has been a part of this whole game. You got Nukoba, the wild card, just joining in whenever he can. He's going to get a full sip of his own. Good job there. And this is getting a bit closer. You got Obama at 289, Lamatron at 146. He might be able to hit the 200s if he plays this right. And finally, Nukoba and Balanka stuck in the low 3 digits.
Final few seconds here, Obama. Can he get another full sip? Just about. Yes, indeed. There it is.
Obama. 356 power-ups for Obama. And
wow, that's going to put him at the top of the leaderboard. 356 beats Lamatron by 9 power-ups. Very excellent job here from Obama, even though he had a bit of a mountain to climb here with those Ngoba and other players that were working against him.
That's what we love about Jump Cup, though, is there's that wild card aspect. You can get thrown off your game by the rolling bombs, the bombs in the pint, and I know the texture pack back home on stream you can't really see, but the walls of that pint are all bombs, and so I guess he was putting the bomb in Obama. But that was quite the performance out there, and he is poised to be playing in our final Super Bowl Jump Cup Challenge should nobody be beating this this title. And so in future weeks, we've got one more week of playoffs before the Super Bowl. Make sure that you're in for your final chance at participating in that Super Bowl stream.
Yeah, he's definitely secured himself a place, and you too can secure yourself a place. Make sure to watch next week and participate. It'll be your final chance to play. If you guys wanted to catch that again, maybe do a bit of studying on Obama's performance, replays will be available at youtube.com/Ron Sponson after the game. So we're going into the second game. Before we do, I wanted to ask... We talked about, we saw a showboat, and we talked about the shots that we've been drinking, but what is your drink of choice for the regular caps here, Liquid?
I'm drinking some Boreal Russe, which is a go-to beer of mine. It's relatively inexpensive, affordable, and delicious, but I gotta say I'm way more excited about this the scotch I got going here. I'm gonna have to refill after that first shot. Here's to hoping we get to see a couple more boats in Game 2 and potentially even a Game 3. Red Hot Chili Poppers, they've got their backs against the wall right now. A loss here would be the end of their season. And you got Tantru's team, the defending champions. Tantru is looking for that back-to-back Super Bowl. They are not down and out just yet. You can't count them out until the very end. How about you, Ron? What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, well, thanks for asking, Liquid. I am drinking a local beer 612 Brew unrated rye India IPA. West Coast IPA meets Midwest rye. This rye IPA greets you with a burst of citrus hop aroma and tempts you with spice from the rye. Let me know what you guys are drinking in chat. We see the Bob 18 is also going to be drinking an IPA tonight, Propeller IPA. What are you guys drinking that when you're following along?
That's something that I've always been wondering. How many people back home are indeed following this drinking game with beer or any other drink of their choice? And if so, what is it that you're drinking? I need inspiration, man. I'm running out of ideas. 10
if
weeks
you guys are
of
drinking,
MLTP,
type exclamation point drink in chat. And we'll see how many people are following along. We may have quite the evening headed for us because Ghost Boosters were able to win that first game, and now Emerald is coming in with Red Hot Chili Poppers looking like they have maybe a chance of winning this one, which would push us into the third game, which is going to be Transilio.
Emerald is one of those maps that anyone can cap on, anyone can win on. It's a map that has a lot of chaos, a huge chaotic element to it. But one thing's for sure, it's a map that is entertaining to watch. You guys have all seen games on Emerald. It's rare to see a game end with single-digit scoring. So we're hoping that we're going to get a bit of a doozy here going into Game 2. And hopefully maybe a few more boats. I was actually really surprised to see a boat on Jiffy, just given how small the map is. It's really quick to get back on offensive defense, so you don't actually have that much time to get a showboat in. You need perfect blocks and some pixel-perfect capping, and that's exactly what Protag did when he went in for that boat. He knew that we're streaming, and he's just trying to get us drunk, so we'll see on Emerald if any of those teams are able to replicate this kind of success. And in fact, I believe, sorry, I'll just interrupt you. I believe Emerald is the map that originated the MLTP boating scandal back when Ball God in minor leagues came in and boated on Emerald. And then I think it was the Base Gods back in Season 9. They had Slide, who went for what he called a tactical showboat. He was able to showboat the cap and then allow his team to come in for another one right after due to a strategic delay, quote unquote. And so Emerald is a bit of a, I was talking about, a chaotic map. It's a shit stir, it starts controversies, and we are a better league for it.
And so far, things have gotten off to a slow start. We've only seen one grab, and Guts trying for another one, and he's trying for a few moves, but Sharantino is not going to bite. It's a bit more difficult to get past him than that. Once again, we're seeing Sharantino and Cynical with the lockdown defense.
Oh, and Ball Don't Lie's gate prevents the bomb from getting triggered, and now Cynical is down and out. He's going to be playing anti-regrab, and that ends up working out in his favor as Ball Don't Lie can no longer grab the flag solo. He's going to have to... Oh, and he baits the backwards boost. Now he's past 2. Shara's in base. He gets the grab and is able to get out long enough to get that return for his team. Great work by Shara on OD.
And now Guts trapped in base waiting for his teammates to get on regrab. And now they've got the Tag Pro. Can they do anything with this Tag Pro? Unfortunately, Ball Don't Lie is going to have to chase with it. No, he's going to stay back in base, try to get a bit creative with this Tag Pro, opening up a return for cap opportunity, but he's got 2 players to beat, and he is able to tag both of them. Pro Tag's got to be careful here. Shara getting into the way, and wow, the Poost pushes him out. Pro Tag looked like he was sure to get returned, but a lucky Poost here, and finally, the return for cap is just dwindling, and now it might go the other way, but Ball Don't Lie is in the right place at the right time, and this is just back and forth.
Some good offensive defense by both teams, and Protag seemed like he had 0 chasers for a couple seconds there, but in the end was able to survive that 3-on-1 onslaught. We were talking about, 2 balls, 1 cap. This was 3 balls, no caps. So maybe if we just get more balls in there, that's what we need. MLTP needs more balls.
Always the solution. And they're also looking for more power-ups. We've got a couple one on each side of the map. Both juke juices, one for each team. Ball don't lie with the flag and a boost as well, but the wall got into the way. And now Toasty trying to do something creative with this boost. I don't know what good that's going to do, but at least he eats it up. Shara's coming in from behind with this juke juice. Guts is out. Can Guts get the first cap of the game? Maybe not.
There's this bomb in the Red Hot Chili Poppers base that is conspicuously present. Aaron with the double back play. He's able to buy enough time for Protag to get back on OD, but now we're back to 2v2 blocks, and that on a map like Emerald gives the advantage to offense. Unfortunately for Ball Don't Lie, he knew he had a player catching up, so he couldn't afford to take as much time as he wanted, and he had to rush it in. The blocks weren't quite set enough to allow him to cap. But this is one of those maps where even 2v3 blocks, you can still cap on those if you use those boosts creatively enough. And that's what I love about this map is it always gives the advantage to the offensive team.
Defenses are really shining right now, and we're seeing some good offensive defense. Wow, Aaron, that really backfired. I like the idea, did not like the execution, and now Ball Don't Lie's out past a bunch, but what? A fluke, and Protag somehow just locks himself into that return. Unbelievable sequence of events. That one's gotta hurt.
Luck, that was all skill. Protag knew what he was doing there. That was beautiful. I was about to talk about how Shara had to grab there. He had no choice. With the Tag Pro lead as the last man, you gotta grab because you're gonna get tagged otherwise. And he didn't. He was unable to get to the flag first, but somehow Protag uses his team boost, I believe, or was it the neutral boost? I think it was a team boost that he used to boost right into the destination of the flag carrier and get that predictive return. And Cynical, using those gates properly, gets on that button and gets that return. And 4 minutes into this game on Emerald, somehow the score is still tied. Maybe it's the curse of the commentator. No caps on Emerald after we hype it up.
Very different game from the first game. Got a completely different pace to it. And great job from Aaron and Sharatino winning that juke juice in the top or the bottom right of the map. Aaron's trying to get creative here, but Misaki's not going to have any of it. And Guts just closes the book and gets that return. And these juke juices only have a few seconds left. Let's see if Toasty can pull something off. He opens a brilliant handoff here for Ball Don't Lie, who weaves between the team and Aaron again with some great offensive defense preventing that cap.
Some great OD by both teams. Aaron, as you said, once again shining. He had to get aggressive on that OD for fear of getting blocked out, and he played it perfectly. He had a couple pixels to spare, and Ball Don't Lie is the kind of player who will make you pay if you don't cover those pixels. But Cynical, all of a sudden, revealing the offensive side of his game, and gets the first cap of the game! That is a drink, and Cynical, the unexpected capper in this game on Emerald. Are we in for a second? Protag looks for that corner. He can't quite hit it, but I'm still completely flabbergasted that Cynical is the one to have opened the scoring. Cynical, as I mentioned earlier, had 1 cap in the entire regular season. He now has 2 in this matchup.
Very momentous cap here, and it looks like it may have started something. And right now, Ghost Boosters with a bit of control here. Protag with the flag, buying some time. No, they're going to commit 3 defenders in base to try to open something up, but now Misaki is on anti-re, and Protag is just sitting there, just waiting for someone to do something, and someone has done something. There's a Flaccid, still not enough for Protag, and Misaki has had enough of that, and comes boosting in from the top of the map, and taking Protag down to reality. You can't sit there for that long and not expect someone to come in.
What goes around comes around, but just as I say that, Protag makes amends and gets the cap back. Now we've got Ghost Boosters with a 2-cap lead, and maybe 3 if Aaron's able to get this in. You can't. Toasty gets a good return. Now Protag is going to try to delay long enough to allow his team to grab a couple power-ups, but now it backfires. Guts gets a Tag Pro, Toasty gets a Tag Pro. We've got double T's, 1 on O, 1 on D, and we saw this happen on Jiffy. Those exact 2 players get the Tag Pros, and it didn't work out. Can they fix what they broke in game 1? Can they make this happen? And Cynical misses the boost. That was key. He had to hit that boost. Ends up getting returned. That looks like it's going to be a cap for Ball Don't Lie as Protag gets blocked out by Misaki. Great use of those Tag Pros. They do not make any mistakes the second time around. Red Hot Chili Poppers cutting the lead down to 1.
And Misaki wasn't in the position to be able to get an all-out block, but he had just a subtle little touch there, and that was all that it took to kill the momentum and open up that capping opportunity. And now it's just a 1-cap game yet again. Things were looking a bit dire, but Protag just making Ball Don't Lie look a bit silly. Oh! Guts coming in and preventing that cap, and boy, that could have gone the other way and extended the lead further, but an amazing single performance here from Guts to prevent that cap. Look at that tag pro at the top of the map. Interesting fighting for that, but wow, Guts brilliantly played.
I have no idea, A, how ProTag was able to juke past 4, and B, how Guts was able to catch up. That right there was the epitome of an Emerald play. Things never work out the way you think they will. And this is the third time so far that on a sure cap, things get derailed. First time around was ProTag's prescient boost. Second time around was Misaki's key save on the ProTag, who'd been in the same 2-square radius for 30 seconds. And this last one, after juking past 4, ProTag gets returned by a last gasp boost from Guts.
And now we've got a bit of flag carrying skills getting showcased, or not.
Just as we say that, both flag carriers spike themselves. That is the curse of the commentator, if I've ever seen it.
And watch out here, Red Hot Chili Poppers looking to tie it up, and just a moment out, but wait, they've got the blocks, but wait, there's more. Red Hot Chili Poppers getting the cap and tying it up. Another round of power-ups coming in, and Sharatino getting returned, and now Red Hot Chili Poppers looking to, in quick succession, get the lead. Can they continue the streak here? Toasty, yes, no, yes. Yo, wait, yes, there it is! Red Hot Chili Poppers now taking the lead. A brilliant 2 caps in what must have been just about 30 seconds. And boy, have the tables turned late into the first half of the second game.
And ProTag gunning for the handoff, but Aaron stays alive half a second too long, and now the momentum goes the other way. After quite the 3-cap flurry from the Red Hot Chili Poppers, they're able to get back on the board, get the lead, and all of a sudden the shoe's on the other foot. What are you thinking right now if you're the Ghost Boosters?
They've got to get a reset here. This is I think they might be getting a bit nervous. I'll tell you what I think they're thinking at the start of this first half. They're thinking, oh boy, we only need to play 2 games. We started both of these games with the lead, and we're looking pretty good this game. Now they're going to have to reconsider, and let's see what happens in the final 45 seconds if they're able to tie it up going into the second half, or maybe even Red Hot Chili Poppers extend this lead further. Ball Don't Lie is going to do his best chance. He's got a boost, and he's got the blocks. He's being aggressive. He doesn't have to be too aggressive, though. 30 seconds to go, and he can afford to take a bit of a lap, and that's exactly what he's doing. Bomb gets defused, and Ball Don't Lie just being very patient here. Toasty with 1 tag and just an unwise angle here, and they may pay for it.
A solo. Can Sharatino get the solo on Guts? It doesn't look like he will. And ProTag unable to get that cap in to tie the game late, which we saw last game with the Red Hot Chili Poppers getting that late game tying cap. It looks like Red Hot is going to go into game 2 with the 1 cap lead this time around, able to turn the tables on the Ghost Boosters, and that is in no small part due to their power-up dominance. We were talking about power-ups a lot on Jiffy. Well, they got their act together, and now they're leading 11-7 in power-ups, and a couple of those caps came off really savvy usages. One that comes to mind is that double tag pro cap where both Guts and Toasty had them. They were able to use them perfectly, clear up the base, get a nice lead, and it was a bit of a rough cap, but it was a cap in the end. And all of a sudden, you got momentum shifting.
Yeah, and very interesting. I'm looking at these popped numbers. We're seeing a lot of, I saw at least 3 players that were popped 19 times. We're seeing a pretty, we saw a few spikes on this map, but there's a lot of good defense as well. And we're talking about the good offensive D that was showcased on both teams. This is an interesting map here and an interesting game. We're seeing a bit of a defensive and offensive D slug out. Going to the second game, we've got Red Hot Chili Poppers with a 1 cap lead, so they should be feeling pretty good about that, but I don't know. Ghost Boosters has been looking pretty darn good tonight, and I'd be a little nervous if I was Red Hot Chili Poppers, even with this 1 cap lead.
I mean, both these teams made the playoffs. They're both number 1 seeds in their division. Clearly, we're not dealing with amateurs. I know a lot has been said about the quality of MLTP this season, and while it is true that it's not what it used to be in terms of top-end quality, we're looking at some of the best teams in the league. They've had 9 weeks to gel with each other, and, well, actually, in the case of Ball Don't Lie and Cynical, those are perhaps exceptions to the rules, but they've had 9 weeks to get an assessment of the quality of the league and be able to figure out how exactly things are going to be played this season. And we're starting to see that. These teams aren't making as many mistakes as they were making in week 1. And that leads to some pretty spectacular plays.
We're getting off to an interesting start here. Aaron's in a bit of trouble. Watch out here. Aaron dancing back and forth and leveraging this button, and a brilliant job buying some time by Aaron, and he may even be able to extend it to a cap, brilliantly weaving under the team, and yes, Aaron with a beautiful cap, and now Ghost Boosters have tied it up yet again, and this is exactly what Red Hot Chili Poppers did not want to happen. They've got to be getting a little concerned here, but it's still only a tie game. First round of power-ups coming up, and we've got ourselves a game.
Aaron has been impressing me so much tonight. This guy, he's one of those raw products. He's got the jukes. He's one of the slipperiest players in MLTP. But going into this week, from what I've seen from him, he seemed like he was lacking the MLTP savvy, like the Tag Pro IQ, so to speak. He was making a lot of rookie mistakes, and it seemed like he wasn't always in the right place at the right time. All of a sudden, this week, it seems like he's everywhere he needs to be. The guy has been patient when he needs to be patient. He's pushing it when he needs to push it, and he still remains one of the slipperiest players. We saw it right there. He juked his way past 2 or 3 different poppers before he got that cap in. Guy's playing like a veteran when his team needs him to, and that's something I gotta underline. For those of you who haven't watched him in previous weeks, this is some top tier play from Aaron.
We haven't called out Toasty much this game, and I do want to mention he did have a good block on that top choke and was just sitting in the middle there to get the return and ultimately the reset for their team. We've got another round of power-ups coming up here. Both, all 4 players, all 8, rather 4 on each team, getting positioned, but now Cynical with the Tag Pro Escort, and that's going to open up an opportunity here for Aaron. Can Ghost Boosters take the lead back and make this just a 2-game match? It looks like they're going to try to pull it off. Cynical getting a couple tags, but not able to take care of Toasty. Yes, he is able to take care of Toasty, and now Ghost Boosters has reclaimed the lead and putting the Red Hot Chili Poppers season in danger, but Ball Don't Lie is going to get returned. Guts with the handoff, and they're saying not so fast. Here, Guts has a shot. He takes it, and it's tied again, and just back and forth action here for game 2 as we've got both teams posturing.
What a snipe from Sheratinho, but what a run of play. Both teams getting caps, and the game somehow still tied. This is the Emerald that I know and love.
And we have still 7 minutes to go. It's anyone's game. Red Hot Chili Poppers fighting for their season, looking to stretch it to game 3. Aaron has a Tag Pro. Sheratino's rolling bomb gets defused. Toasty out, looking to take the lead back for Red Hot Chili Poppers, but not so fast. There's the Tag Pro. It's all on Misaki. Can Misaki pull it off and slow him down? He can. And not only that, he can grab the flag, but still dangerous. Oh my goodness, they sneaked the cap in. How did that happen? We may need an instant replay to verify all scoring plays here because that was a bit crazy.
Sheratinho, what a god, this guy. He can do it all. And Protag, he's going to try to juke past 4, nearly gets the split, but the spawn comes in the clutch and they're able to keep things at bay. Red Hot Chili Poppers on the back foot. They've got to make something happen, and they've got to make it happen quick. Ball Don't Lie with some great support plays. Guts is going to come out. They've got 2v2 blocks. This is a perfect scenario to come back, and they get the cap. Tie game once again, and Guts coming up huge. All of a sudden, these support players, Aaron and Guts, coming up big for their teams when they need it most. They've been the stars of the show tonight, and let's see if they can make it happen once again.
Tag Pro for each team. Looks like they're going to lead and end up kissing. And again, a bit of synchronized swimming on the map. But Protag, wow, the bomb almost got in the way, but he readjusts and gets the cap. And now Ghost Boosters is back on top. 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the game. And again, Red Hot Chili Poppers need to win this game to stay alive in this season. And I don't know if we all expected Ghost Boosters to play so well, but watch out. Ball Don't Lie with the flag. He's got a couple blocks. There's a bomb, and I think he's hoping that the bomb gets hit, but look at Aaron actually preventing that from happening. Finally, Guts hits it. Great job by Aaron there.
And Protag knows what Ball Don't Lie is trying to do. Those are 2 of the top offensive players in the league. They're in each other's heads, and Protag knew he was going to go for the boost low, just casually sits on that button. And now Cher is coming the other way. If they get a return, they can't quite. Toasty with the grab right in the nick of time. Now Protag, he's past 2. He might be past 3. He was going to be past 3, but he decides to double down for the Tag Pro, and Ball Don't Lie is able to secure that return to quell that bleeding and prevent that 5th cap of the half and that 3 cap lead from happening. Now they're going to go for the Tag Pro kiss. Protag has to grab all on his own right now, and he feels like that task is maybe a bit too tough for him and instead chooses to spike. I can understand that feeling, Protag. Getting overwhelmed in the playoffs is nothing to be ashamed of.
Toasty being aggressive, venturing out forward and eating that boost up, getting the tag as well, and trying to open up a chance for Red Hot Chili Poppers. They are getting desperate at this point. They need to get another cap. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Blaze it. Protag with this boost off the corner and going to get returned by Toasty here. And right now trying to get out. Ball don't lie with a few moves here. Protag sticking back before going on offense. A very wise move here from Protag and able to keep that flag in base.
I am not entirely sure if that was the right play from Ball Don't Lie. He knew that with that block he wasn't going to be able to get out, and what was Guts supposed to do? Go for the handoff? The Ball Don't Lie prevented that option from happening because he ran right past the flag. If I were BDL, either die in a corner or try to make your way out with a good block. In that case, he had neither, and that put Guts between a rock and a hard place. If I'm honest, I feel like Guts has been carrying this so far tonight. And I think if Red Hot is able to get to game 3, they're going to need a big comeback from Ball Don't Lie going into these last few minutes.
Guts with the flag. Boy, they're trying hard to get this flag out of base, and they need to do it quickly. 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Ball Don't Lie in base on his own, waiting for Guts to come over, and let's see if they can pull something. Pull the flag, rather. Oh, no. Very unfortunate. They need to work together here, Ball Don't Lie and Guts, to get this flag out.
And what I'm seeing so far on Emerald from both teams, let me say, is a lot of, as you said earlier, desperation. Both teams are getting super risky with their grabs, needlessly so, and they're both making a lot of mistakes. Now, to be fair, the opponents have been really good at capitalizing on those mistakes, but we've seen a lot of mistakes nonetheless. Most of these caps have come off plays that should not be happening. And that's just because the teams are getting too antsy, trying to get their grabs in, trying to go for gold every single play. Sometimes you just got to play slow and smart. Slow, as they say, slow and steady wins the race. And right now it seems like Ghost Boosters, with this little advantage, the buffer of a 2-cap lead, or 1-cap lead rather, they've been able to kind of slow down the pace of the game and try to get their spirits back and just make sure they're able to secure these last 2 minutes. But this is Emerald. Anything can happen.
Excellent job by Cynical and Sharantino defending against that Juke Juice. Didn't let the flag even get grabbed. Ball Don't Lie with a bit of a cheeky boost block.
Bullies him into the spike. VDL just heard what I was saying on stream. Was like, screw you, Liquid. I'm pushing people into spikes now.
And now Misaki on this button. And interesting. Yeah, he's positioning himself for the power-ups. We got power-ups coming up. Only 2 more rounds of power-ups. This is the penultimate round of power-ups. A Juke Juice. And it looks like the Red Hot Chili Poppers are going to win both of them. They desperately need this. Misaki with this Tag Pro. Bring it on offense. Open something up here for your team, Misaki. Looks like he's trying to do it, but the bomb, unfortunately, pushes him out of the way. This is it. Coming into base, Misaki can open something up here. And Toasty sitting at the boost. Whoa, the bomb, unfortunately, doesn't help, but Sharantino had the flag out of base regardless. Aaron with the monster snipe, and Guts with the last ditch offensive D. And now there's just 1 minute, 20 seconds to go. There's season on the line. Guts in base. Let's see if they can pull it off. No. Ball Don't Lie is going to give it a chance.
Split, and he almost gets it, but Sharantino gets his 20th tag of the game and shuts the door. And with a minute left, something's got to give for the Red Hot Chili Poppers, because they're 1 cap down in the potentially last minute of their MLTP season. Last round of power-ups coming up. What's it gonna be?
Guts has the flag. He's got the blocks. He's pulling the moves, and he's got the cap rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling into base. And now it's a tie game, but watch out. Sharantino has the flag. It's not over yet, and we have 2 flags on the side of the map coming into base, looking to try to get the score. Guts, careful. Now is the time. You do not want to be nub-stepped.
Wow. When they needed it most, a cap within a minute of the end of their season, and we might be headed to overtime, but Sharantino's got the flag. He's just trying to stay alive right now while his team gets a return. Protag spikes himself. Misaki misses the snipe, and with 17 seconds left, something's got to give.
Watch out. Oh my goodness, return for Cap. Wow, that could have been their season there. Guts holding on the flag yet again, prolonging his team's chance at moving on to this season. Bombs in the way, dangerous. Finally, things have slowed down, and this is going to be headed to overtime, and they're going to end up kissing here. 6-6, and Guts is ultimately going to, at the darkest hour, step up for his team, get that cap, and extend their chances at moving on in this season at least another half.
Another 11-7 lead for the Red Hot Chili Poppers when it comes to power-ups, but to me the standout player, Sheratinho, 1 cap, 15 returns, and the 3rd most hold of any player for this defender. That's something you don't see very often, and that's something that they've been seeing all night long from Sheratinho. You mentioned it in Game 1 on Jiffy. He was huge, coming up with big boost blocks, returns in the last second, and he's coming up big once again here. I believe he was the one to get that comeback on the road, and it looks like we're going to be heading to overtime now. Ron, do you know what the overtime rules are for the MLTP playoffs?
Yeah, for those of you following along at home, the overtime rules for playoffs are going to be 2 5-minute halves. So we're coming into this one with a blank slate. Both teams are going to get a chance to play on both sides of the map for a 5-minute condensed period. And then once again, we've got Red Hot Chili Poppers coming in. They lost the first game, and so they do need a win in this game, which would push us into the 3rd game of the evening. Otherwise, Ghost Boosters will be moving on.
Now, Red Hot Chili Poppers are no strangers to having to come back to win. They did exactly that in last season's Super Bowl, the biggest game on the biggest stage, and they were able to defeat those nerves and come back. Now, bear in mind, that was a different starting 4 than the current starting 4, but it was the same captain, the same motivational speeches, and the same drive to win that Tantru imbues into any of his teams, and they're going to be looking to do exactly that as overtime kicks off against Ghost Boosters, who had them pinned back in their zone for the better part of the last 10 minutes.
And now Guts with the flag. Ghost Boosters so far have gotten an early lead pretty much every game, both the games. It may have even been all the halves, and looking to try to do that again here in the condensed half. Baldwin Lai coming on the flag, and he's got a lot of a sea of blue, as it were, to get past. But Guts is now coming as well. Again, 3 players in base. A good bomb, maybe not.
That was a beautiful attempt on the bomb, and now Protect, he should be going for the handoff. He has Cynical in a great position, but he waits too long, perhaps a bit selfish, and that could lead to a cap, but Cynical, he's got the jukes. Who knew Cynical had the dangles? And he prevents the cap. Baldolai has to take a lap, and now Cynical, you gotta assume he's gonna be playing anti-regrab. Instead, they go out for power-ups. Both rolling bombs are captured by the Red Hot Chili Poppers, but in the process of getting power-ups, they allow Protag out of base, one of the slipperiest flag carriers in the league. 93 caps to his name, as we mentioned in the pregame in regular season. This is not the guy you want with the flag right now, if you're the Red Hot Chili Poppers.
And he's still just sitting with this flag, waiting for a return, just dancing around and base, getting both of them to push forward. And now Tosi has a chance. He's got to cut backwards, though. Bomb! Great bomb!
Cynical uses the bomb. He sees Shara is about to get the return and uses the bomb perfectly. That is some defensive chemistry if I've ever seen it before.
Return for cap, not going to happen. Baldwin Lai gets returned himself. Now Guts, again, we've seen Guts actually, I want to call this out. He's ventured forward off a regrab to support his team, but both times when it's made me nervous, he still has never even come close to getting nub-stepped. Nice gutsy play here. Sheratinho with the flag though, and we've got a couple double T's here for Red Hot Chili Poppers.
For Ghost Boosters, actually, this is the first time they get both tag throws, and it looked like Red Hot Chili Poppers was going to be able to secure the bottom one, but they miss out on it, and now Ghost Boosters trying to make them count, but with the flag out, tag throws are virtually useless, and we've seen not a single tag from both of these tag throws, just as the flag carrier gets returned in the gate. So I'm not sure how useful those were in the end. Great work by Red Hot to cancel them out and prevent them from having any impact. And it's some great support blocks from Aaron as Shara secures the solo return. Cynical trying for the last gap snipe, and he gets the gate. Protag comes in, gets the lead in overtime. With 2 minutes left in the half, number 1 of overtime, Ghost Boosters once again get that 1 cap lead.
And now Protag with the flag, and Noah looking to extend it further to 2. He's got the blocks. There it is. Ghost Boosters now with a 2 cap lead and 2 minutes to go.
Man, Ghost Boosters are out with the vengeance tonight. On a map in which they got beaten, and Misaki somehow steals that tag pro, and maybe we've got a game, ladies and gentlemen. If he can play this properly, leading Toasty back into base, Aaron cleverly uses that bomb to create a bit of chaos and prevent Red Hot from getting any momentum going. But just as I say this, Misaki gets that double tag, Baldolai swoops in for the cap, and now this is once again a 1 cap game.
One cap game now. Keep in mind, we do have one more half to play after this, but right now, Ghost Boosters with one cap looking to make it 2, and Aaron is going to get contained here. Protag with the flag, Ghost Boosters with the momentum, and right now, Protag doing his pen to just sit on the boost and wait for something to open up, and yet doing it yet again. Protag, very dangerous with those boosts, and just a bit miscalculated there. Otherwise, he almost had that top wall coming in and getting the blocks for a cap.
It was perfectly calculated, but the problem is he was going up against, as we mentioned earlier, another of the top offensive players who knew exactly what he was trying to do. Telegraphed that boost completely, and Ball Don't Lie was able to neutralize the capping threat. That's something that I love to see. We've seen it all game long, the Protag BDL duel, and this time around BDL was the one to come out on top, but currently Protag sits in the lead, and if he's able to get the nub step in, Ball Don't Lie steps in to prevent it from happening, and now we're back to a bit of a chase fest for the last 30 seconds of the half.
Well, I get the return. Guts with an interesting angle here, and just sitting on this boost. Shara sitting there as well, and ends up going, he's going into a bit of open area. 18 seconds left to go here. One cap lead for Ghost Boosters going into the first half of overtime.
What a snipe!
And
Toasty gets the snipe, Guts gets the juke, and Cynical saves the day with 7 seconds left. Prevents the Red Hot Chili Poppers from tying it up after a beautiful play from RHCP. Oh man, going into half number 2 of overtime, Ghost Boosters once again in the lead, in the driver's seat. Ron, do you see a comeback happening?
I don't know. We've seen Ghost Boosters taking the lead early. If there is going to be a comeback, Red Hot Chili Poppers is going to have to come out swinging into the second game. I'm going to say no. I think Ghost Boosters are going to pull away and get both wins. And I don't think we're going to see a third game.
Let us know in chat, guys. Who do you think is going to win this overtime? Do you think it's Red Hot Chili Poppers? Do you think it's Ghost Boosters? Obviously, Red Hot has a steeper hill to climb going into this last half of overtime, but it's anyone's game, and if Emerald has taught us anything, it's that you never count a team out that's just one cap behind. Now, interestingly enough, if we look at the rosters here, they've been playing with the same starting 4, and part of that reason is probably because there are no subs. Currently, Red Hot Chili Poppers has 0 subs in their group, and Ghost Boosters has a single sub, and so even if they wanted to do roster change, I think right now they'd be stuck with their starting 4.
You know, a wise man once told me, bench Tantru, lose game. I don't know if that's going to play out again tonight.
Interestingly enough, the last time these two teams faced off against each other, and the first game was played on Pilot, and the game was tied 4-4 with a couple minutes left. One of their players lags out. Red Hot Chili Poppers is able to sub in Tantru, and Tantru subsequently gets a brace, gets 2 caps, and leads his team to the comeback win. Now, unfortunately, Tantru is ineligible for the playoffs, so there's no more Tantru comebacks in the cards. Red Hot Chili Poppers are going to have to do it all on their own without the help of their captain, and as we mentioned before, they're going to have to make it happen soon.
Yeah, only 4 minutes and 40 seconds here to go. Guts trying to get out of base and just narrowly gets gated here. We're seeing those desperate grabs. We're seeing this actually, maybe not desperate's not the right word, but very aggressive grabs from both teams. They're, again, dipping their toes in the water. And wow, Ball Don't Lie dipping something else in the water here, pulling a few moves, but Guts unfortunately getting in the way a little bit, and that's going to cause him to get returned.
And now going into the first power-up round, I think that could be a big game changer. But now Ball Don't Lie past 3. He opts for the risky boost. He pulls it off, and that's going to be the tying cap. Ball Don't Lie brings his team back to the tie game. And with the first round of power-ups coming up, Cynical is going to try to take advantage. He catches Red Hot Chili Poppers unaware, and can he boost in? He cannot. Ball Don't Lie neutralizes the threat and is able to get out. And now it looks like he might be going the other way. Ball Don't Lie brings around the Rosie, and then Protag somehow able to block. Now Protag is past 3. He's got the block in base. He's got the tag pro lead. This could be it. And Toasty, somehow Toasty breaks some hearts, saves the cap, and I'm losing my voice. This is ridiculous. Protag coming in. He's got the double blocks. He's going to go around, gets the return.
Got the blocks. That's it.
He's got it. Oh my God. Protag gets the go-ahead cap with 3 minutes left after an insane sequence of events.
And they're looking to extend it further, back and forth, and Ghost Boosters ultimately were the team to capitalize on that one. And now look at this, Red Hot Chili Poppers just devolving. The entire team is spawning in base, getting tagged, and Ghost Boosters is just rubbing salt into the wound at this point. It's still anyone's game, but a dominant 2 caps here, and Ball Don't Lie is going to have to use this rolling bomb to open something up here. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. 2 cap lead for Ghost Boosters as they're looking to move on to the next round of playoffs.
Protag with all 4 of his team's overtime caps. Big game player. He's got his eyes on the prize. And with 2.5 minutes left, I would love to see a turtle. That's what I want to see.
Exclamation point, turtle in chat. We have seen some turtles in the past, most famously MOBA with the single turtle. But look at this, Protag out. He's got a couple boosts, and now he is just driving this home. And now it's looking pretty decisive here for Ghost Boosters, taking a 3 cap lead. And again, we're seeing Red Hot Chili Poppers just get gated left and right. Sharatino and Cynical with some swift gates yet again there. Cynical pulling another one off, and Red Hot Chili Poppers must be feeling the pressure at this point in time.
You can tell they're crumbling under the pressure. They're scrambling to get anything going. Now they have the ingredients right now. They have a Tag Bro, a Juke Juice. Just get 1 cap, guys. 1 cap is all you need. But once again, Ball Don't Lie getting too hasty. Toasty unable to set a good block. Now he's going to have to make something happen here. He unable to juke Cynical, and now these 2 power-ups. With 1.5 minutes, they run out with no additional caps for the Red Hot Chili Poppers. Things are looking really bleak right now, but we potentially have a comeback in the cards. All we need is a single cap from Red Hot Chili Poppers to get everything back on track.
And then 2 more caps immediately after within 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's certainly possible, but not probable. But Ball Don't Lie doesn't care. He's going to try to see if he can pull anything off. Protag, though, being very dangerous. AA round with another gate. Red Hot Chili Poppers getting gated all over the map. Tosi getting a return, and that was critical. And now they need to get this flag out. They're foregoing power-ups. A wise decision, maybe. But no, Tosi's going to be able to swoop in and almost take it. Final round of power-ups is taken, and that's not going to help Red Hot Chili Poppers out much. Guts with the flag. They need a cap here. Can they pull it off?
They're getting a bit too aggressive here. Every single Red Hot Chili Poppers play is acting like it's a pub and that they can just carry by going offense. Meanwhile, they let Ghost Boosters get a free grab, and it doesn't help their cause at all. You can only cap when the flag's in base. Now, Ball Don't Lie knows this and gets counter-sniped by Cynical, but it looked like a good opportunity to cap with 30 seconds left. Something's got to give. They've got to get a cap right now. This single second. Ball Don't Lie with a beautiful little split. Toasty abandoning defense to go on offense, and they're scrambling. This is some last-ditch play from the Red Hot Chili Poppers right now.
And the final 10 seconds are going to tick off the clock, and it looks like we are going to see Ghost Boosters with the sweep in overtime. A brilliant showing here from Ghost Boosters, and they were coming out from ahead to start almost every game here, early establishing the lead. Red Hot Chili Poppers did put up a fight, though, and it wasn't an easy taking for Ghost Boosters, but in the end, Ghost Boosters getting the sweep tonight. They'll be moving on to the next round of the playoffs.
The underdog seed coming into the playoffs as the number 6 seed going up against the top team in the conference. They get the 2-game sweep. What a game by the Ghost Boosters. And if there was one MVP, I don't even know if I could name them because they played as a unit tonight. We underlined AA Ron's contributions. We underlined Sharatino's contributions. We underlined Protag's amazing clutch abilities, getting all 5 of his team's caps in overtime. And we underlined the fact that Cynical suddenly burst into an offensive phenom this game, somehow doubling his season total for caps. Now, speaking of MVPs, we've got Protag here with us to celebrate the victory. Protag, congratulations on such a dominant sweep. Did you expect this going into this game?
Absolutely not. They're a very good team. Toasty's probably the best player in the league, and Ball Don't Lie has been a top offense forever, so we were not expecting a game like this at all, but we're happy with how it went.
How many nerves did you guys have going into that second half of overtime, knowing that you needed to hold on?
A lot. Sin and I have had some bad experiences blowing leads on Emerald, so we just made sure we stayed focused, played anti, and got pups.
Now, you talked about Cynical. You traded for Cynical, what was it, 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
And he has experience with you on the Holy Rollers back in Season 11,
That is correct. Season 10.
Season 10, and you guys made it all the way to the Super Bowl that season.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that big game clutch play chemistry that you guys have was able to translate into anything tonight? Do you think that was a factor?
I don't know about chemistry, but I just know I traded for Sin because he's a very smart player, and I have struggled grabbing against him in the past, so having a defense of him and Shara is very hard to get out on.
Now, one thing I want to touch upon is in the pregame, we streamed the pick ban sequence, and your pick was Jiffy. Now, we were looking at your team's records on all these maps, and Jiffy was a bit of an unexpected choice. What made you guys go for that?
Well, going into this week, Cynical said he wasn't going to show up if we played Giphy because he hadn't played it all season because he was away at that time. But scrimming on it, we felt like we were better on that map than most teams probably were. We won most of our scrims on it and thought it was a map other teams weren't going to be looking to play. So I think we caught him by surprise, and it was a good map for us.
And another thing I want to mention, you're talking about Giphy being a map you were better than most teams on. It looked like you were pretty even with Red Hot in that first half on Giphy. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, second half, you burst into this offensive unit. I think you won that second half 8-1.
It was all power-ups. We got most of the power-ups that game, and it worked in our favor.
You definitely dominated power-ups, but you chained a lot of caps. And it's something that we saw once again on Emerald is when you get a cap, you get 2 or 3. Yep. And is that something that you guys practice, how to react when your team caps, like leave one on regrab, or what goes through the preparation for this?
We try to be aggressive with our pups, so if we get attacked, we want to set on offense, get a quick cap, clear out base, and get a regrab chain going, and that's the best way to get some caps in playoffs.
Now, looking forward, you will likely be playing one of the Centra teams, but if not, you'll be playing a team that defeated one of the Centra teams. Mm-hmm. I don't know which one is scarier. Do you have anything that you're preparing your team for going into next week's semifinal Foci 4 matchup?
We don't have a great track record on Sphere, so we're going to hope for the upset there. But if we have to play Sphere, we'll scrim on it, we'll adjust, and we'll be okay.
Well, you guys have been quite the wild card, upsetting the #1 team in the East. We'll be rooting for you guys going into next week's Foci 4. Congratulations once again on such an unexpected yet beautiful sweep, and we wish you all the best of luck going forward.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the stream.
No problem, and thank you for joining us, ProTag, for this post-game interview. Congratulations to your team for moving on to the next round of the playoffs. We'll be excited to see you guys next week. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and thank you to Pithy for running the stream tonight, Liquid for the co-commentary, and the Bob18 for some stream support, pulling it together old school once we had some issues with Zanbot, but stepping up to the plate there. If you guys like the stream, make sure to follow us on Twitch, where you find more entertaining and high-quality broadcasts each and every week. Replays will be available at youtube.com/Ron Sponson. I am Ron Sponson, and we'll see you all next week.